moving. Let's keep it moving. All right. By the way, for those that don't know, Vox is a YouTube channel where they do highly researched YouTube posts. Vox, VOX. You can see this article on my timeline. There are widespread rumors in Silicon Valley, where life extension science is a popular obsession, that various wealthy individuals from the tech world have already begun practicing parabiosis. That's what it's called. Spending tens of thousands of dollars for the procedure and young person's blood and reporting the exercise several times a year. Now, repeating exercise several times a year. Question: If somebody with a lot of money, if someone with a lot of money approached you and asked you, they said, look, I've done research on you. Better yet, why don't you come to the lab, take a blood test? You're healthy, and if you allow me to do a blood transfusion with you, I will pay you $10,000. Would you do it? Just a question. If somebody approached you and asked you to do a blood transfusion with them, and they give you $10,000, would you do that shit? Right? They'll take your young blood or your healthy blood and put their unhealthy blood or their old ass blood, old ass and tired blood in you. Would you do it? All right. The early research is groundbreaking and exciting, he says, but the interest in parabiosis is already getting ahead of the research. He fears that science will be maligned by a rush to market. Youth serum, or worse, a black market for young people's blood will arise out of the hype. Watch your babies. Watch your babies. It seems that old rumors and loose talk about rich and powerful barons in the ranking power structures drinking blood of babies and so forth and so on may not be so wildly off base after all. After all, many have speculated where the bizarre bloodshot eyes of David Rockefeller are, in a photo below, are not evident of many attempts at treatment to keep an aging oligarch alive. He is now 101 years old. And if I'm correct, he had two heart transplants. Listen to that shit. That's two where my lightning? Well, two. The question is all the more relevant because his family, who have sponsored more medical and scientific research than perhaps any other American family, have funded investigations into genetics, longevity, social behavior, eugenics, chemotherapy, and modern medicine that have defined breakthroughs. For instance, a 1943 report from the Rockefeller Foundation discusses their involvement with mining blood for its qualities, both known and unknown. Mining blood. Mining blood. Thus, that started as an inquiry into the practicability of using animal plasma as blood substitute for transfusion purposes, has developed into a program of mining blood for its individual substances and for testing these concentrates for therapeutic and prophylactic use. Prophylactic use? Okay. Knowledge gained in a laboratory devoted wholly to the problems of pure science has been turned quickly and effectively to meet immediate human needs. Rockefeller Foundation, just a few other key foundations, have dominated the restructuring of scientific research and funding direction of research and development. There's a large movement. I'm just saying, this is me. There's a large movement out there for people out there looking for eternal life. More quietly, they have also been responsible for suppressing many cures and breakthroughs that did not meet their agenda. Those fruits have been enjoyed behind the veil, if at all. A contributor on Natural News, Rap Torman, dug up some very damaging research that was being conducted in 1957 and sponsored by the foundation. Parabiosis refers to the transfusion of blood from one subject to another, literally combining the circulatory system of two animals. Some scientific studies have shown reported health and longevity benefits to older mice if paired with younger mice. This came into the mainstream view with headlines about tech billionaire injecting young people's blood for life extension. Many articles detail the very wealthy interest in the process of transfusing the blood of the young for its rejuvenating properties. Any of the recent articles on the subject are carbon copies of each other, all referencing the same report in the journal Nature, mentioning only the same part of the edited entitled Aging Research, Blood to Blood, not considering the deeper implication. In the past few years, however, a small number of labs have revived parabiosis, especially in the field of aging research. By joining the circulatory system of an old mouse to that of a young mouse, scientists have produced some remarkable results. In the heart, brain, muscles, and almost every other tissue examined, the blood of the young mice seems to bring new life to aging organs, making old mice stronger, smarter, and healthier. It even makes their fur shinier. Now these labs have begun to identify the components of young blood that are responsible for these changes. But they never talk about what happens to the young mouse that they getting the goddamn blood from. I mean, am I the only one that's noticing this shit? What about the young mouse? Raptorman draws the connection between experiment work sponsored by the Rockefeller Foundation and the secretive Office of Naval Research. Now we back into the government. How young is the blood needed for the effect? How is the blood obtained? But nobody asks, what happens to the young person that gets the old fucker's blood? About the first question, again quoting from the same article, the journal Nature, just a few paragraphs down, this part was conveniently left out of the mainstream pieces. Clive McKay, a biochemist and gerontologist at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, was the first to apply parabiosis to the study of aging. In 1956, his team joined 69 pairs of rats, almost all of differing ages. The linked rats included a 1.5-month-old paired with a 16-month-old, the equivalent of pairing a 5-year-old and a 47-year-old. It was not a pretty experiment. Oh, here we go. The very young paired with the old, not sort of young like an 18-year-old, really young like a 5-year-old. With humans, pairing the equivalent of an 18-year-old with a 47-year-old might be acceptable, whereas pairing a 47-year-old with a 5-year-old is definitely not. All of this is certainly not good for the young host, as it sucks dry of its vitality. The younger the host, the more vitality there is to be had. I'm going to stop. Well, no, we only got a little bit to go, so I'm going to go. In McKay's first parabolic aging experiment, after old and young rats were joined for 9 to 18 months, so they are joined together, the older animal's bones became similar in weight and density to the bones of the younger counterpart. McKay's experiment was originally funded by Rockefeller Foundation. Scroll down the sample page and note the study was done with grants from the Office of Naval Research in conjunction with none other than the Rockefeller Foundation. It seems this organization has its fingers in every little pie. Indeed, Rockefeller Foundation has been funding his research in aging since 1936 and continuously over the course of his career. If anyone would embody the spirit and behavior of vampires by sucking off the vitality of the young and naive, it would certainly be the very same elite who lied to us as a means of keeping us all controlled. All right, we're going to stop right there. So, the question is still on the board. I ain't hear nobody respond. I don't know if anybody out there. But y'all can hit me at thatambrosia@giamijourney.com or Hatim, HA2TIM @giamijourney.com and respond to the question. If somebody offered you, now let's move it up, $100,000 to be paired with them for 6 months because of your healthy blood, would you do it? Right? Better yet, would you go in every day and get them treatments for, let's say, 60 days or something like that? I don't know. Would you do it? Would you get your blood up? Question. All right. On to the article that I wanted to talk about, and then we'll get out of here. Now, for those sensitive, I start posting up tie, not tying videos. I'm starting with the Pratt knot. I call it the easiest knot in the game. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to grow from the Pratt knot, because after you get comfortable with doing the Pratt knot, we're going to move to other knots. But once you get comfortable with one knot and you master it, you're going to start experimenting with other knots, right? Now, I know a lot of people out there like, Brother Hatem, why you tie knots? You didn't even like knots. I didn't. And I figured, and I learned this in school, I figured that if I got to do it, I might as well make it fun. So I figured out how to make wearing ties fun for me, right? And also, after I'm doing my research, because I research everything, I did research on the belt. We could talk about that for your young people when you're talking to young men. I did research on the tie. Now, where the tie come from, it was part of military uniforms for certain warrior groups. One, as a sign of distinction to set you away from everybody else, but also the silk around your neck could protect your neck from a light strike across your throat. You know what I'm saying? Silk is very strong, and it could protect the neck. Also, if need be, you could take a tie off, just like you could take a belt off, and it's a weapon. Listen, purpose, that Nia, man. Yesterday was Nia. It's purpose in everything we do. The shoes you got on, the socks that you put on under your shoes, the very way the pants are designed with the loops, the way the belt, why we got belts. Dude, it's a purpose for everything. You have to start identifying a purpose and be able to use them. I be looking at these people in horrible situations, and they end up getting killed, you know what I'm saying, when they were sitting with a fucking weapon on their body. Come on, man. All right. How you use a belt as a weapon? First off, a belt can be a long-range weapon to kill somebody off of you. You can grab it to make it really deadly. You grab it by the end. You grab it not by the buckle side, but by the end of the belt, and use the buckle as a projectile and swing it, and you always got it, right? You can wrap it around your fist to protect your knuckles, to keep your knuckles tight and knock somebody out, right? You can use it to protect your hand if you have to. If you have time, you can fold it up and grip it within your fist, which cause all the bones and the muscles to compress, so that when you punch, it's a little bit more solid, right? You can use it to strangle somebody. You can use it as a rope to escape, to give you a couple more inches on the jump. You know what I'm saying? Any more questions? You can use it to set a booby trap, to trip somebody. You can use it to tie somebody up. All right, I'm done. All right. So, like I said, that's not things. We'll talk about that, All right. On to the article. Oh, another article. There is a video of Puffy Sean Combs doing a speech, and one of my brothers posted up that this sounds like the steps in the Players Pyramid. For those who don't know, the Players Pyramid is a book that I wrote that talks about the steps to building something, the steps to building your life, the steps to building towards success. I used to write my books, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a symbolic thing that you could use to help you make it through any task, from writing a research paper to running a company. You could do it, right? All right. Now on. I'm almost there. Check out my calendar. I will be updating it. But here's the article. Get ready. Get ready. And we done. All right. Y'all ready? I'm going to read this whole article. I need to go on and get me some more ambrosia. Because I know some of y'all going to be mad. Share the video. When you get on here, share, subscribe, You know what I'm saying? Like the Giammi page. Go to my Facebook, not my Facebook, go to my YouTube page and like. Please, right? Spread the word. Because I'm building. I'm not playing, right? And I figured that if some of the suckers out there that got over 100,000 viewers and stuff like that could go on and do it and just spending the money on themselves, hell, I could do it and get some, do some nice trips. I was just talking to my sister last night. I would love to take about 50 kids on a cross-country train ride where we could ride all the way out to the Grand Canyon and possibly have the hiking equipment and do some hiking out there in the Grand Canyon and let them see just how small they are when they go out there and take a look at that. But also, as we go across the country, they'd be able to have the experience of doing that. And then better yet, I can use that money and take a group of kids and some adults to Ghana, to Senegal, to Egypt. Let's build, man. We could do this. There's people on YouTube right now, right? That's doing 10,000, 20,000. And hell, I was just kind of wondering how much Marcus Brownlee, if you ain't never heard of that dude, Marcus Brownlee, you know what I'm saying? He do the videos talking about the phones and shit. He got over 1 million viewers. So it's people that's got 150,000 viewers that's doing 10,000 a month. If they doing 10,000 a month with 150,000, how much money is Marcus Brownlee making? That dude doing about 100K a month. That's why he got all that goddamn equipment. I was wondering, where you get all this equipment from? Just YouTubing. This is a fucking job. This is why when people was like, Brother Hatim, why you trying to move over and do videos over on YouTube? What? Because Facebook own your shit, and Facebook more than likely will not pay you for it. They ain't paying us for our shit. We need to be thinking about business. Fuck being seen. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that some of y'all thumbs up and shit like that. I love the fact that y'all interact. I love that shit. But that ain't business. That ain't business. All right. They say my connection is weak, so I don't know how long Facebook is going to be up. All right. Here you go the article. Why are black people obsessed with the Bible that was used to enslave them? This article is from the Ghana homepage. This is not Brother Hatim. This is a Ghanaian, right? Or somebody writing for a Ghanaian newspaper. Now, I don't agree with everything in the article, but I do want to open a conversation and ask the questions that she asks, right? When I became a born again Christian in 2008, this her. I started studying the Bible word for word. I would spend hours a day reading all the commentaries for all the verses I studied. The more I studied, the more I realized that most of the Christians around me did not believe everything that was in the Bible. It was either that they did not know half of the Bible, or they knew and choose to ignore. As a person who always thought deeply about things, it was crystal clear to me that half of the Bible was very disturbing to the human mind. If today people live by the Bible rules from Genesis to Revelations, they will be deemed mentally unstable, barbaric, or even evil. If a man raped a woman, their punishment was to marry the woman by paying a dowry to the father. It was irrelevant whether the woman loved the man or not. There was no such thing as human rights as we know it today. In wars, the Israelites would kill their enemies, including the women and children, without mercy, and would take the virgins to be their wives. Bible character Lot offered his own virgin daughter to be gang raped by men of Sodom so that the angels of the Lord would be spared. But in the eyes of God, he was a righteous man. There are a lot of other practices and laws in the Bible which they are seen as beyond barbaric. The Christians of the day will skip all those disturbing scriptures and cherry pick on the ones which are positive and make them feel good, both in the New and Old Testament. One of the biblical scriptures that remain untouched today is slavery. The hard truth is that both in the New and Old Testament, slavery was never condemned by God. The biblical era itself was an era of slavery. Slave masters was told how to buy slaves and how to treat them. In the New Testament, slaves were simply ordered to obey their masters. Jesus Christ himself was mute on the issue of slavery. He never said a word against the practice, which was very common in his day. He could have simply told the slave of his day to start a social movement to fight against the injustice of slavery. Slaves could have started Slaves Lives Matter movement, protesting in the streets, but Jesus Christ never encouraged such. The new Christians themselves had slaves. In the book of Philemon, the Apostle Paul sent a slave who had escaped back to his Christian master because it was the right thing to do. When I first became a Christian, I remember writing about the topic of slavery according to what the Bible said, and the article was obviously not well received. Now, because she about to hit on the conscious community too. So Christians, hold on. Now, this brings me to the black man, the white man, and slavery. Today, black people are always looking for answers as to why they are still suffering and why they were enslaved. But the truth is that white men did not introduce slavery to the world. It was there since the beginning of time. In fact, in Africa, slavery was rife way before the white men landed there. Black people had black slaves. When the white men got to Africa, they were introduced to the concept of slavery by the black men. It was the black people, black masters, who sold their own slaves to white people. Black people were fighting each other, tribe against tribe, enslaving the defeated tribes. The white men simply saw an opportunity and beat the black people at their own game. Damn. Look, I got to take a sip and look in. I sipped on the other one, so. The whites had something the blacks did not have, the Bible. The good book gave them the authority to overpower the black race. The white man taught the black men the Bible, and with scriptures like these, they were justified to enslave. Slaves, obey your earthly master in everything, and do it not only when their eyes is on you and to curry their favor, but with sincerity of heart and reverence for the Lord. Colossians 3:22. Today, the black men still cry that they were enslaved by whites, but will not accept the fact that they played a huge part in the transatlantic slave trade. In no way am I saying that white men were justified in what they did, but I believe the bigger blame is actually with the people who sold their own brethren into slavery. Who is more to blame, the slaves who brought Joseph or his own brothers who sold him into slavery? God damn, that's a good question. Hold on. God damn, that's a good question. I ain't even agree with all this, but god damn. She bring it to everybody. This is a discussion we need to have. Black people will never get anywhere unless, let me make sure I'm still recording. Check, yep. Black people will never get anywhere unless they stop preaching half-truths about racism, colonization, and slavery. We have to confront our own history and deal with it. Culture cures. Our forefathers allowed themselves to be indoctrinated by the Bible so that they could be enslaved. They were not smart enough to think for themselves at this point. They were even more in numbers than the whites. Yet with the Bible, they were cons into slavery and one of the greatest evils ever done to mankind. If black people are asked to think critically when holding the same Bible that enslaved them, they refuse to question what's in the Bible as they fear they will be sinning against God. And this is a problem. This is a problem everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Asking questions is a sin on your job. Asking questions is a sin in church. Nobody wants you to think. And that's all I'm trying. That's why I talk about blowing up your paradigms. Where my daughter love that. She might be listening. This for Gina. Because we strive to blow up those old paradigms. Family, start asking them damn questions. You got to start asking questions. Man. All right. If black folks are actually think critically when holding the same Bible that enslaved them, they refuse to question what's in the Bible, as they fear they will be sinning against God. The white slave masters were Bible-believing, sincere Christians. They went to Africa to spread the gospel and saw opportunity to enslave black people to make their lives better using the very gospel they were spreading. Now check this out. Check this, how she switched this real quick. Today, the white man has finished with the Bible. In fact, they are finished with God. They have removed God from their schools and systems. They are now the masters of atheism. They call the Bible an evil, uncivilized book. However, they are still reaping the benefits of what the Bible gave them, slavery and colonization. God damn. They are the most privileged people in the world. And the only reason why they are privileged is because their forefathers used the Bible to enslave black people and better their lives. And that is the inheritance of white people. Now, I'm going to stop for a second. There are some arguments that can be launched against what this author is saying, right? But the fact of the matter, think about what she's saying. Don't just get emotional. Don't just get upset. Think about what she's saying. Listen, she ain't say stop being a Christian. She ain't saying Christianity is wrong all the way. But she is raising some thoughts, right, about how this doctrine was used, right? Which we got to be willing to ask these questions, people, if we want to be free. As for black people, still divided today, still suffering as hell, still experiencing the after effects of colonization, which will probably never end, they will hold and defend the Bible to the death. Blacks are forever trying so hard to get to where the white man is today, but no matter how the blacks try, they are not able to catch up. Africa seems to be getting worse by the day. Black people are going mad with Christianity. Some even drinking sewage because their pastors say so. Last year in Nigeria, a pastor and his congregation were burnt to death after he poured petrol on himself and the congregation and lit the room on fire, saying God would not allow them to burn. God damn. We got to think, people. We got to think. Because the same group thought process that goes in with that was the same group process that went on with making it okay in those teenagers' mind to go and torture that boy in Chicago that I started this whole thing with. Groupthink, right? Groupthink. Oh, the pastor said God is not going to allow us to burn, and he poured that shit on him and all those people and murdered them. You know, stupidity and ignorance is a motherfucker, right? And it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And I know some of y'all like, I never got caught up in that shit, but everybody has been caught up in some crowd thought, some group think bullshit that when you thought about it later, you was like, that was stupid as fuck. Even though I am a black woman, that's not me, that's her. Y'all questioning that shit? Look at this shit here. Look at that. Full growth. You know, only a a well-aged man could get this shit. This that silverback shit right here. You know what I'm saying? This that OG shit. Guess what I heard yesterday? Somebody told me, you ain't hear from me, that now you're considering an OG at 25. The fuck? What? I thought I was in the OG committee. I ain't heard that shit. Did y'all vote on that shit? Anybody out there voted on OGs being 25? You become an OG at 25. Please, you know what I'm saying? Another question. I'm going to put it on the timeline. OG at 25. How do you feel about this? I'm going to post both of those up on my poll, on my timeline, as well as my Giambi Journey timeline. Let's get the vote. Now I want to see. 25 makes you an OG. Then what the fuck am I? What the fuck is some of y'all out there? All right. Even though I'm a black woman, I fail to understand black people. All I know is there's something seriously wrong with them. Now, I want you to listen to how she speaks, right? Because she has removed herself from, so we know why, so she removed herself from Christianity and we see how she coming. Now, she has removed herself from black people and listen to it because this is part of the psychosis with us, right? We don't claim what's ours. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm a black woman, I don't understand black people. All I know, I fail to understand black people. All I know is there's something seriously wrong with them rather than us, right? And it only comes out when they hold the Bible. I do not understand now, because I'm going to say this. I know some very powerful, conscious, hardworking individuals that hold the Bible. And this is the point I want to make. This is why I don't want testimonies on one end or the other. Because I understand that it's not necessarily the religion or the book, it's the individuals. It's sort of like martial arts, like I tell you all the time. It don't matter what martial art you take, right? If you a Kurd, you're going to be a Kurd. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. That's why when people talk, what's the best martial art? No, it depends on who's the better man. God damn it, don't matter. You know? So it's not necessarily the tool that you use to get you to where you are. You know what I'm saying? But I like to recognize the faults in all the tools, even the whole conscious shit, right? So, but I talk about that as well. So this is why I can't really, I'm conscious, but I can't really ride with some of the shit that's going on at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? I'm spiritual, but I'm not anti-Christian. I'm not anti-anything, so I need y'all to understand. But all of y'all are my family, right? If you choose that, I support you. I don't necessarily support that shit because I see what it does to those whose mind is not ready, whose mind is not strong. I support them. Okay, hold on. We got official OG that just texted in with his old ass. Kinte Ahmad, about to get cussed out. Here you go. He say, OG at 25 because the life expectancy has dropped dramatically. If you in the streets and you get to your 25th birthday, congrats. Because the majority of killing that goes on is youth under the age of 22. Bullshit! I'm sorry, I sneezed. All right, I hear you, Kinte. And I understand, right? But still, 25? Motherfuckers still don't know how to take a full shower at 25. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. We need to start defining these parameters, even for these fucking gangs, right? That whole 25 OG shit means, because OG, maybe OG is different than when I was young. OG gave you a certain credibility. OG made it possible for you to make life and death calls. And I don't want a 25-year-old in these streets able to make life and death calls. Because at 25, I was dumb as fuck. I'm just saying. you know, but I wasn't really in the streets. Wasn't here in them. No, I was in those campus streets. God damn it, kicking it, learning something in them libraries. God damn it, you know what I'm saying? In them libraries, that's where I was. Fuck all that, y'all. Hey, y'all can have them goddamn streets, cause my hold on, cause they hit me up again. Sorry, YouTube. He says, laughing on, most of us are smart enough to live in the streets, to leave the streets before we turn 25. Okay, yeah. Thank God, you know. Cause yo, hey, listen, dude, I'm telling you, man, it's so much more out there. We got to start exposing our young people to that stuff. That's part of what I'm trying to do with Giame. I need y'all to understand there is more out there than the shit that they are giving us. And we need to let our kids know that. The world is bigger than the hood. The world is bigger than the block. And we got to make sure that our children are able to go outside the block. Right? If you love your child, find a way to get your child up off that block. And I'm not talking about sending them to Aunt Cece's house that's living another motherfucking block. You know what I'm saying? We do camping trips. My goal is to do 6 of them this year. I need tents. I need more ovens so we could cook out on the field. We're going to do our first trip behind Millennium Community School. I know that's not out in the forest, but it's separated enough where we can have our kids in a safe place where they can run and play and have a good time. But that's just a primer, because then we're going to the woods, right? The next trips we're going to the woods. But the point that I'm trying to make is, parents, don't just drop your kids off, bring your ass out too, right? When you come to these events, whether it's here in Columbus, because those people that want to set up something like this in your city, I have no problem coming. I have no problem bringing our equipment. I have no problem getting my brothers and bringing them. Send us an invite. You know what I'm saying? Help us to get down there. I'm quite sure I get individuals that could come down there and help train you to get you where you are. Hell, get in touch with Simba. You can send some of your kids to Simba Circle. There's other camps out there that you could. Well, I ain't talking about the other camps. I'm talking about my family. Let me keep it family, because everybody else is keeping it family, right? Simba or Giame. Simple choice, right? I come to you, and then on top of that, I suggest highly that you plug into Simba, because what Simba does, Simba brings people together nationally, right? So your child will be able to go to Simba camp and experience being around other kids in other cities and see that they're struggling. They're not alone in their struggle. That's the problem with a lot of our young people. They believe they're alone in their struggle. So they think that they come from the only hood that's going through this shit. They think they're the only one that got a dead homie at his age or some shit like that. They're the only one that had their heart broke. When they come to Simba, they see that it's happening in Detroit. It's happening in Chicago. It's happening in Columbus. It's happening in any other city that shows up. We just need y'all. That's it, right? So with Giame, because actually Giame was created as an extension of Simba. Giame is a tribe. And you know what I'm saying? Is a tribe in the family of Simba. Now, and I know a lot of people don't understand that, and I don't even care whether you understand it or not. But the point is, my goal is to train people so that they know how to act when they go to Simba. Train nation builders so they know how to act when they go to Simba, so they could bring some value to it. A lot of people don't agree with that, and I dig that shit, right? I'm not mad, but I have to do what I do, right? So the point is, in local areas, if you need help building up something, right, we could come to you and we could train you how to do the camping trips. We can help you set up the camping trips so you can start doing them on your own so that you can start taking advantage of the wooded area around you. Because if the balloon goes up, if something drastic happens, you need to be able to pack your shit up and meet at a designated point where everybody's going to be. And more than likely, that designated point is not going to be in the goddamn city. It's going to be somewhere where you get access to water. It's going to be somewhere where you are away from all the madness, where if people coming for you, you're going to be able to hear them from a mile away. You're going to be able to set up points where you can have people hiding in the bushes to know when people are coming. Dude, this shit is real. Right? I'm sorry. Got off the point. That OG shit. I'm going to put that up. But I hear you, Kente. You an expert. You know, I just watch the street from the sideline and sip. I didn't have ambrosia then, but if I had ambrosia, I'd be sipping. Right? All right. So, she said, even though I'm a black woman, I fail to understand black people. All I know, there is something seriously wrong with them. Once again, I have to stress, she put herself outside of, when you say them, that's away from you. And it only comes out when they hold the Bible. I do not understand why now she back in. I do not understand why we are now the main defenders of religion that was used to enslave us. I do not understand why it is only us who refuse to put the Bible down for even 10 minutes just to think. I do not understand why, let me put this down. I have to put it down carefully. All right, YouTube Live, we back. All right. I do not understand. Where's she at? Oh, I do not understand why it's only us who refuse to put the Bible down for even 10 minutes just to think. I do not understand why we moan about racism, slavery, and oppression when the Bible we love so much dearly does not condemn it. If you want to be where whites are today, the only solution is to do what the white people do today, which is to question everything and think. Remove the Bible from your head for just 1 hour and question and think. It's not being demon possessed and it's not being evil. It's called freedom. Unless you will ever get to this place as black people, you will forever be in chains. And it is clear to me that even in 2017, black people are not ready for freedom. As I finish the article, I leave my reader with only 2 questions. Why are black people so obsessed with the Bible, which is the book that caused their suffering? And why is it that they are the only people who, when holding the Bible, refuse to question anything or think? Now, lines are open, 614-556-4535. Once again, that's 614-556-4535. I know a lot of people probably won't call in because it's early morning, it's Saturday, you still sleep. But we can have this discussion another time. If enough of y'all hit me up, I'll get back live and we can chop it up. My line will hold 100 people. I got 100 people arguing, but if once your ass start getting into the testimonies on either side of this shit, I'm cutting you off, right? Because I don't want to hear about the questions. I want to hear about, because you don't have to read, because I don't agree with everything that she said, but the point is, she brought up good points. As far as wisdom mining, I have to be able to go through the dirt. I have to be able to go through the mud. I have to get filthy so that I can find the gems. And in here, there are some gems that all of us can grow from. Now, I'm going to say this and I'm done. Right now, I'm reading a book, or I'm listening to a book by this white boy named Seneca. Seneca was a Stoic philosopher. And Seneca states in his book that the only thing that separates the man from freedom is his fear of death. He says all of our passions, all of our connections to life hold us, but none hold us to life or to our own imprisonment more than our fear of death. Because in order to get over the fear of death, we got to let go of a lot of the old passions, like the hanging on to our vehicles and the fearing of what's going to happen to our children if we're not here. The main thing that holds us in slavery is fear. Black folks, what are you fearing? Stop fearing death. That's That's true revolutionary. All right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying operate with reckless abandonment, because a lot of our young people believe not having fear means that you just do whatever the fuck you want anytime you want. No, I'm a staunch advocate against dying stupidly, right? I believe in strategy, right? You know what I'm saying? Being unfearful of death does not coincide with being stupid or being disrespectful or being unprincipled or doing what you want when you want, regardless of who it hurts. No, you still got to maintain those principles, right? So I'm closing this out on Seneca. I'm saying, think about that, Burst. I want to thank whoever. I think that's Kente, bruh. Listen, man, I love you. You got you some free ambrosia coming. Come see your brother. I got the same number I had when you was 10 years old and in love with your first pistol. Hit your brother up. I got you. I got you. I got a big box. You better get over here. Because people about to come buy these up, right? I mean, actually donate to Gianni and buy them up. But yo, this is Brother Hatim. Like and subscribe, share, right? Like, subscribe, and share. I want to thank you for spending your morning with me. I'm about to sit myself down. I'm going to do a meditation video, and that's only going to be for those in the journey, because I'm telling you, this shit will change your life. Also, I'm gonna do a little. I'll probably do a little something on the after 5 eating one period a day. You know what I'm saying? So I want to, because like I'm telling you, y'all, just a simple trace, because I want y'all to think about this, man. They got us believe in so many things that are false. Like, you got to eat 3 times a day. Dude, I'm going through and eating once. It's like at first I was pigging out after 5. But now, I'm not even eating a lot. And I'm able to make it all throughout the day. And I'm moving, right? It's cold out here. For some reason, the cold makes me want to run. So I'm going to talk about the meditation. I'm going to talk about the diet and changing diet, because some of y'all might not have to change your diet. You might not have to drop some of your favorite shit. You just might have to eat it strategically, right? I know some of you pork eaters out there. Some of you meat eaters. Y'all ain't going to get that shit up. So rather than arguing with a motherfucker, be like, yo, dude, I only eat 1 time a day. So I eat what the fuck I want, right? Check that out. Lose weight, have more energy, right? You train your body to burn what it needs to burn for energy, rather than burning the sugar and all these carbs that they give us, or the sugars that's in everything. Rather than burning that shit for energy, your body start learning to burn fat. What is that? That's a cleaner, more powerful, and longer burn. Now, for those that want to lose weight, this is the perfect way, mixing it with that ambrosia, doing the after 5, and doing the meditation, and then also doing what Wim Hof talk about, is immersing yourself in the cold water. These things all help you far as getting in shape, far as getting your breath together. Then there's a certain point where you do a exercise, and I'm gonna show you how to do the exercises for Gianni as well. You know what I'm saying? Like the specific yoga that we do. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. Is the same thing that's out there. The only thing I'm doing is I'm sharing it on our platform, and I'm changing. I'm making sure that y'all understand that just like these motherfuckers discovered America, came in, changed the name, claimed it, and staked their flag on it, you had the self-determination to do the same shit. You have the same rights to do it, just like I claimed the weak. See, that's what a lot of y'all don't understand, right? Y'all laugh at me because I'm talking. I claimed it. So regardless of whoever do it, I claimed that shit. I discovered the weak. Prior to me, there was none. You know what I'm saying? They was mumbling and shit until I applied Nia and Kuumba and the Mani to that shit, right? That's how they did us. So claim it. It's yours, right? Just like these exercises. Because I ain't even getting, look, far as the video, I'm going to talk with you about the, they call it the chakras. right? I chased them at those 20 years ago. Fuck all them long names from India. Fuck all that. I got names that you can pronounce and that you can easily remember. And I could and through the process, you will focus on each one of the points. So those of you that's out there doing all those other folks shit, I'm trying to bring it home. That's all I'm trying to do. That's it. This is Brother Hatim. I'm saying I'm out. Thank you for tuning in. Shouts out to everybody out there. Follow the channel on YouTube. So if you go back to my timeline, Brother Hatim, also I'm going to post it up on Jamie Journey. Click and go and subscribe to the YouTube channel because that helps us raise funds too, right? Peace.